Alrighty folks, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. This, as you can see from the title, is an install video. We're going to be installing this YakAttack LeverLoc anchor trolley HD or heavy duty. The only difference between this HD and the regular one is that this comes with backing plates for the stealth pulleys. So yeah, we'll do it step by step and I'll show you how I do it. Although I'm gonna have to read the instructions first. Stay tuned. Okay, the first step we have to do is figure out where we're gonna put these pulleys. It comes with two of these, and this is basically what the line is gonna go around. I think I'm gonna use this starboard side or right side, and I'm gonna put the pulley pretty much towards the furthest end. But I'm gonna be putting backing plates on this because it's the heavy duty version. So I will show you how I'm going to be using YakAttack's rigging bullets because I can't access inside here. So I'm going to figure out where to put this, mark the holes, and then go ahead and start drilling. Okay, so this is a backing plate, and obviously this is going to go on the inside actually go on the inside and allow me to use those rigging bullets. But I need to drill 3 holes. So it looks like this. You have to drill 3 holes, right? 2 of the holes will be for the rigging bullets to pass through here. And then the middle hole will be for the pulleys so that I can clamp it down and then slide the rigging bullets through. Anyway, this will make more sense as I'm showing you. So I went ahead and drilled the middle hole, which they tell you to use a drill bit 13/64. I went ahead and drilled the middle one so that I can just have this as kind of a marker so I can at least, line it up and drill these other 2. So for the middle hole, I did use a 13/64 drill bit. For these other 2, this won't actually fit in there. So I used a smaller drill bit as a pilot hole, and now I can take this backing plate off and drill the other 2 holes with the correct drill bit. By putting the backing plate on, as you can see here, the middle hole is the right size and the left and right one are the pilot holes. So all I have to do is simply just get the correct drill bit and make the pilot holes bigger. Okay, now that all 3 holes are drilled, I'm just going to test to make sure the rigging bullet is going to be able to come out of this hole. So I'm going to do, the rigging bullet's going to come out of here with the backing plate attached on the inside, and then it'll come out this side. This side's a little bit stiff. I may have to widen that hole a little bit. And then the middle is where I'll screw this on, and then I'll remove that backing plate, or I'll move the rigging bullet to the right of that and screw the remaining thing in. As you know, there's going to be one exposed hole, and we'll have to plug that with the screw. Okay, let me show you how you rig the rigging bullet. So you get some kind of yarn, string, whatever, run it through there, okay, and tie a knot at the end so it won't come through, or it won't pull through. So you want to make sure that the skinnier end is actually going in last through the hole. So let me just show you what I'm talking about, because that's what's going to come out first. That's what you want coming out first. So when you put this through the hole, you want that skinny end to go in last. So it'll go through here, okay? And you're going to put one in there and one over here, and give it enough slack so that, wherever your, first opening is, and mine's going to be here, I can lift the back end of the kayak and try to grab them. All right, so we'll give it a shot. Okay, this is actually easier than I thought it would be. So one tip is feed a lot of line through that first hole. I just did one side to try it as a test run. And I fed a bunch of this yarn in, just like that, okay? So that when you do lift the kayak, there's enough rope or string there for it to slide down wherever you need to. Obviously, you need to do a lot if your first opening is going to be towards the bow. Mine is in this middle, and I know it worked. So I picked it up and kind of turned it this way, or turned the kayak, you know, towards the side that this bullet's supposed to be. But check this out. I see the white string. All I'm gonna need to do is just pull it out, right? And boom, you have your rigging bullet. Okay, and we'll do the other side and then go to the next step. All right, let me show you what I got so far. So I got both rigging bullets through, okay, and out. And now I connected this backing piece to it. And like I said before, you want the skinnier part, skinnier tip of the rigging bullet. Now it's going to be coming out first from these holes. So I got them lined up. I'm just going to place this back in here. Okay, make sure the lines don't get tangled. And in theory, I should be able to pull these. Okay. And the rigging bullets should come out. Let's see what happens. Just do it nice and slow so it doesn't get super tangled. Okay, there's one. Let's see if I can get the other one through. Okay, I see some metal. Okay, from there, I'll just get some pliers and pull them out carefully. Okay, got some pliers. I don't want to pull on the string too hard because it's just one overhand knot. Okay, and from there, I can just pull. There you go. The rigging bullets are out. All right, and now it came with some nuts for the rigging bullets. I'll put that on, tighten it up, and then go ahead and screw this middle one in. Okay, I think I was premature putting the nuts on this side. This side's fine, but what I'm gonna put is the trolley now, or the pulley, and you wanna make sure that the wheel is facing towards the center of the kayak. So for mine, it says made in the USA. That should face towards the stern of the boat. So I'll slide this in, okay? And I'll go ahead and put 2 nuts on this side. And you'll see, it's because it's recessed. So you need that top nut to actually get this to tighten all the way. Okay, it's actually simpler than what I thought it would be. Okay, so that's pretty good. So this hole is lined up, so is that one. I'm gonna go ahead and put the screws that it came with in this middle hole. Okay, so I got the middle screw tightened down. Well, actually not the middle, but it's the middle of the 3 holes that I drilled. I took out the rigging bullet from this side. This one's still intact, still holding it in place. And now I'll put the screw in here. One thing is, you have to be careful because if you push too hard when you're tightening this, the lock nut will pop out. So I'm almost like pulling towards me while screwing, if that makes sense. And let me show you. This is a close-up of the rigging bullet. See how there's nuts inside? Those things do pop out if you push too hard. So imagine this is going to be on the inside of your kayak, and when you're screwing and pushing, if that pops out, that is a problem. Okay, all that's left to do on this side is just take this rigging bullet out. Okay, because this pulley is now installed. I'm gonna probably tighten it a little bit, but I don't wanna, tighten it too much since we're dealing with plastic. Okay, now that these 2 screws are in the backing plate, it's tightened, we have this third hole. And what the instructions say is you're supposed to use a shorter screw that it comes with, not the same one as this. This is the number 10. This will go into the final hole in the backing plate. So that is it for this side. So it's got the pulley with the backing plate. We drilled 3 holes, and now we're gonna do the front. Okay, so I decided on putting the front pulley here. Had to move this light up a little bit, no big deal. So how I'm lining up the holes is I drilled the middle hole with the 13/64 bit, okay, and then I put the backing plate on here with that one screw. And so this is just so that I can drill pilot holes in these two. Once I do that, I'll take this backing plate off and then drill the full-size holes. Okay, now that the backing plate is off and I drilled pilot holes on this side and that side, I will go ahead and make the appropriate hole as instructed by YakAttack for these two. Okay, I'm done. Move this up here. All right, here we go. That's ready. And I'm gonna use the rigging bullet. I think it's just gonna make it easier. I don't need to fish it through anything, but I can just go ahead and put these on the backing plate, pop it out through here, and then do that same process. Okay, I have the rigging bullets on the backing plate, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try to fish it through here from inside the hole. Okay, got that first one, and then we'll find this other one. Okay, was able to pull them through, wasn't too bad. And now we're gonna put the pulley on. Again, we have to keep the orientation correct. We want this Made in USA to face towards the bow. Okay, so we'll slide that on like that. One thing I forgot to mention is make sure you put the nuts on the rigging bullets because you want that backing plate flush with the kayak when you're putting these screws in. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten this middle one, and then we'll take off this rigging bullet, add the screw there, and then lastly we'll take off this rigging bullet and put that final screw. Okay, we got the first 2 screws on, and now we can take this rigging bullet off and go ahead and put that final screw in there. Okay, so we got our line here and we ran it under and over through this pulley, and the same thing on this side, but the opposite. It's gonna run from the top down to the bottom. And you wanna get these 2 ends together because we wanna just see where the line is gonna rest. So I just made a little loop in one end. Okay, here. And again, this is not final. Okay, just made a little loop here. And we'll run the other end of the line through that loop. And we're not gonna go super tight here, but we are just gonna get it somewhat snug just to see where this line rests here. Here, get some better angle here. Okay, just like that. So that kind of tells me where this line runs on this boat. Okay, now that we got the rope in the general position, I'm trying to figure out where to put this LeverLoc. So it has this little lever that you just clip on, and this is basically how you lock and unlock the anchor trolley. So there's a little groove here where the line would go in. Right there. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want it, where it's within reach. And again, this is gonna have a backing plate too. So I'll go through that same step, but again, the fortunate thing for me is that there is access in the middle of the kayak through that hull opening. So I won't have to feed string through it, but I'll do that same thing by adding the rigging bullets through the holes. Okay, I've drilled the first hole for the LeverLoc. You know, basically just place that there and drill that hole. One thing to keep in mind is this backing plate, it marks where it says pulley and then clamp base. The spacing is different. So, you know, for example, if I had drilled it here, that wouldn't have worked for the pulley. But because it's a clamp base, the spacing is different. So just make sure you look at this and look at the orientation. So yeah, I'm gonna get this thing on here and use this as my guide to drill that left and right hole. Okay, so I have that on. And again, this is just for pilot holes for the rigging bullet here and there. So I'll make sure that this is lined up where I want. And again, I'm not using the 13/64 drill bit. I'm using a smaller one just so I can identify where the holes are at. After I drill these holes, I'll take this backing plate off and then drill them to the proper size. Okay, so I have the holes drilled. I have the rigging bullets onto the backing plate. Now I'm just gonna reach around, put this in here, and hopefully I can get them to come out. Okay, I got that first screw in, but just a little tip. The instructions say use this hardware when you're using a backing plate. I disagree. It's too short. You need something longer. May just be me, maybe it's because my kayak is pretty thick at this spot, but it doesn't hurt to go with anything longer, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna take off this rigging bullet, add this, and then for this one, I can go ahead and use a shorter screw since there is nothing else on top of it. All right. We are getting close to finishing the installation. I'm at the step of installing these pad hooks, and it comes with 4, but I would say this is discretionary if you need it. I decided to put one here just because I don't want the line interfering with my light up here, so I kind of want that line to come down, and I put one here. There's the LeverLoc. And then I'm currently installing this one, and then I'll put the last one probably in between this and the pulley over there. But it's really simple. You want that facing down because this side, this pointy side, is where it'll catch the bottom part of this lever, or bottom part of this rope. And so you just put it here, line it up where you want it, okay? And make sure the top rope is in that little slot. The instructions say to use the 1/8 inch drill bit to make the hole, which seems to fit perfectly. You'll drill that top hole, okay, and then once that's in, line it up and drill the bottom hole and put the screws in. All right. Okay, so we're at the last step here, just attaching this now, this ring. So you're going to tie an overhand knot, slide it from this side to this side. You're just going to bring all the excess line through the other hole, okay? And this is going to be kind of up to you how tight you want it. Apparently this line is supposed to shrink after it gets wet a few times, and so when you do tie your overhand knot on this side, I would leave a little extra room just in case you can come and adjust it later. So I think I have it adjusted how I want. So again, overhand knot on this side and the same thing here. But on this side, I'm probably gonna leave, I don't know, maybe 3 inches, at least until this thing gets wet a few times, and then I can do my final adjustments. But yeah, that's it. I think it was pretty simple. The rigging bullets definitely were easier than I thought, and if you are concerned about, you know, the backing plate, then you should definitely go with the Anchor Trolley Heavy Duty system. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below, but I'm excited to test this out. And so for me, I mean, you can use this with an Anchor Wizard or whatever type of anchor you have, but for me, I'm going to use it with the YakAttack Park and Pull. And especially in rivers or waters with current. I want to be able to position my kayak, you know, facing upstream. So this would be perfect. So just, you know, we just pull this, and my parking pole would be at the bow. Okay, and then this again, you use this to lock it, and it's your stand put. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. Appreciate the support as always. And until next time, take care.